Hey, welcome back. So in our last video, we started making this function here that builds up a frequency counter and tracks where we find all of our different numbers. And we also ran into this problem right here, where if we have duplicate values in one of our arrays, we get duplicate strings, like this one right here, BB. Now, in order to fix that, it's a pretty easy solution. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to create a new variable, call it array2unique. And I'm going to say array.from a new set. And we're just going to pass in array2. Now, if you're unfamiliar with sets in JavaScript, what they essentially do is filter out all duplicate values, so we only see 4 once instead of twice. From here, I'm going to go ahead and loop through instead of array2 unique, and that duplicate value goes away. Now, one of the last things we need to do is go ahead and tally up our values inside of our frequency counter. You can see the length of each one of these arrays right here, 3, 4, and 5, is just 1 because we find this number in one of the two arrays but not both. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to say for const key in counter. We want to check if counter at number dot length is strictly equal to 1. If that's the case, what we want to do is, I actually forgot a step. I need to create an array to store our unique values, so I'm going to say unique values. We can just say down here unique values dot push, passing in our key as a number. Key. Perfect. Make this a little bit wider so we can see it. And right here, all we need to do, well, not all we need to do, for now, I'm going to go ahead and console.log unique values. Can't find. Oop, I actually made a mistake up here. This should be key, not number. There we go. That fixes the problem. You can see we get 3, 4, 5. Those were the unique values inside of our frequency counter. From here, I'm going to go ahead and return unique values instead of console logging it. Return unique values. And I'm going to direct my attention down here into our main sim function. Now, in this function here, we've already gotten the symmetric difference between subarrays 0 and 1 inside of our arguments array. So we only need to worry about 2 onward. So for that, I'm going to make a new for loop right here. I'm going to initialize a new variable I to 2. We're going to say while I is less than arguments array.length I++. Perfect. From here, I'm going to change this declaration for current difference from const to let, since we are going to be redeclaring it. And I'm going to set current difference to a new call to get sim difference between two sets. And all we want to pass in is the current difference and arguments array of I. Above, there is one edge case I forgot to handle. We do want to handle a case where someone passes in only one argument, or maybe even no arguments to our sim function. So we want to check if arguments array.length is less than 2. We want to return undefined, because you can't get the symmetric difference from just one set or even 0 sets, right? Now there is only one thing left to do. All we have to do down here is return current difference. Return current difference. And if I run all my tests, everything works. Now let's take a minute to kind of recap what we did in this short video series. We start off by getting spreading out all the things we pass into this function, in this case arrays, and we put them into one big array called arguments array. If the array length is less than 2, meaning we have less than 2 sets to work with, we return undefined. If we make it beyond that, we get the symmetric difference of arguments array of 0 and 1 and save it to a variable called current difference. Now, for every subsequent array beyond index of 1, we start this loop out at 2, we take the current difference, and we recalculate it based on arguments array of the current index in this loop. Alright, I think that makes sense. That is it for this video, and that is it for this tutorial series. I will see you in the next series of videos. Stay tuned.